Hey, Shalom, Akim. Shalom. Before we begin this lesson, I want to start off by giving all glory, honor, and praises unto Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Bahashem,
Bahashem, Yahweh
Yahushua,
Shai, Bahashem,
Bahashem, Chakadash.
Rachakadash.
Double honor to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone that taught us his truth. A sincere Shalom to the hopeful like this out there, listening and learning and or teaching in truth and sincerity. Shalom. So we were looking at this article earlier, and I'll probably put the title in the description box or in the thumbnail, but it says 200 nuclear warheads. A single Russian Typhoon class submarine could destroy most nations on Earth and start World War III. Okay, so this article is kind of going back, giving us like a little lesson on history on, the type of submarines that were used by Russia back during the Cold War. And we're just going to get into it a little bit and show you, because ultimately the scriptures does say, that the Lord is going to put them in that spirit again. Okay. And that's we're gonna get into it. But first I want to just read a little bit of this article so y'all can get an idea of, what type of destructive power these submarines had. Okay. So I'm gonna start off on the top. The first paragraph, it says the Soviet Union built six Typhoon class nuclear ballistic missile submarines during the Cold War. The Typhoon class was the largest nuclear submarine ever built. Each measured 175 meters in length and displaced 48 tons submerged. So these were huge submarines, right? It says the R-39 weighed 90 tons. Okay, so that's not sure if it's metric tons or American ton, probably metric because they're talking about, meters and stuff like that. So, it's either 90,000 pounds or 180. But either way, that's a lot. And it says twice the weight of the US Trident II missile. Okay. Each R-39 carried up to 10 multiple independently targetable re-entry vehicles. A single Typhoon class submarine could potentially deliver 200 nuclear warheads in a single launch sequence. Okay, and I looked into it. The launch sequence could take anywhere between 20 minutes to 40 minutes. So, that's pretty quick. Okay, like the scripture says, in 1 hour, this place is gonna get destroyed, right? So, just going into that destructive power there, I'm gonna skip down real quick. We're gonna go down to the section that says why the Typhoon class terrified the West. It says the offensive power of the Typhoon class submarines was centered on their ballistic missile armament. Each carried 20 R-39 intercontinental ballistic missiles, known in NATO as the SSN-20 Sturgeon. These missiles were enormous, weighing around 90 tons each, and were equipped with multiple independently targetable reentry vehicles, or MIRVs. A single missile could carry up to 10 nuclear warheads, allowing one submarine to potentially deliver as many as 200 warheads in a single launch sequence. Okay. And that's pretty much all I wanted to go into, man. This was during the Cold War, back when they were the USSR, the Soviet Union. Um, but we were just chopping it up earlier before the lesson, how much progress have they made with these missiles now, man? You got the Satan II, which I just looked it up, could destroy something the size of Texas. Just one missile. Okay. So it's only a matter of time before prophecy is fulfilled, man.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's a scripture talking about like how these smaller nations they used to be weak and now they're stronger, you
Wow.
know.
Yeah,
So
that's a good let me get that precept for you.
um,
But yeah, that's definitely on point because hey, a lot of these nations weren't uh on the level to mess with America, but now everybody puffing at them, man.
time because you got big boy, little boy. and that's when we first tested it out. And
Mhm.
then we thought we were all big and bad, but now all the smaller nations like Iran, Russia,
Yeah,
North Korea, they're all pointing the same missiles at that we used to have at us, but 10
yeah,
times stronger.
yeah,
Yeah, go
exactly,
ahead.
man. And Iran is going to play a big role too, man. The scriptures talk about that they're going to waste a portion of the Assyrians. They say that, oh, they don't have nukes yet, but I believe they do. I mean, they're not going to tell everybody their business, but they've been
Con,
working on it forever. I mean, how many articles have been published where they say Iran will develop a nuke any day? They've been saying
con.
it for the past decade, man. They got to
Yeah,
have had it by now, you know?
because after after they ended up creating like some type of agreement between
Mhm.
Iran and the US, they said, "Hey, we need to be able to monitor your nuclear facilities. If we can't, which is what's happening more recently, it's like we're gonna go to war." So,
God.
in this whole straight deal, they're saying we will not stop our nuclear facilities. So the
Mhm.
US went ahead and tried bombing those places, but
Mhm.
they got backup.
They got backup, man. Russia's backing them up. That's right. And I got
Con,
that precept for you, brother. That's Joel 3, starting at verse 9. It says, Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up, beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong.
con. So once again, these smaller nations, they used to think that, we have no power because the US has all the power. They have the newest technology. They have they got the atom bomb. But
Mhm.
now we all know how to get into those we know how to alter those things now. So
Mhm.
we're gonna put that to use also. So
Yeah,
when this last nuclear, you get what I'm saying? When this all comes down to the end,
yeah.
everything's gonna be blown up. Like you said, it's about the size of Texas, and who knows how many they got.
Who knows how many they got? I mean, they're not going to be publishing it on the TV. Oh, look, we got this secret weapon and that secret weapon and this and that. It'll all come out when it's the Lord's will. But like he said, like the brother said, they are puffing at America now, man, because they have the same weaponry. The same weaponry that Esau has used to bully everyone. Everyone else has it now. You know,
Con,
especially Russia. Russia is going to play a big part in the destruction of this place, man. And that's where we want to go into Ezekiel, the 38th chapter. It really goes into it, you know, because like we always say, these heathen nations, they all going to get together, but the one that's going to lead the charge is that Russia, okay? And I'll let you go ahead and
I got that preset.
come. Yeah, just start at yeah, you could start at verse 3.
Con. Uh, where do you want me to start at too? It kind of
Oh, yeah,
gives
you
me
could start at the top. Yeah,
con.
top.
Okay, it says right here in Ezekiel 38, verse 2, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, which is the Russians, the land of Magog, and the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and prophesy against him, and say, Thus saith the Lord power, Behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will
Yeah.
bring thee forth.
So right there where it said, and I will turn thee back, right? The Lord's gonna make these Russians do a 180. They're gonna go right back to the old ways when they were in the Soviet Union, that Cold War era, when they were building these incredible submarines with all this power. Okay. They don't even have submarines that do that now. So it shows you what type of spirit they were in way back then with more primitive technology. They were building these gigantic destroyer submarines, man. So what's going to happen with the modern technology they have now when the Lord puts that old spirit back in them? It's going to be ugly out here, man. But go ahead, up.
God. And I will bring thee forth, and all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed, will all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers, bucklers and shields, and all of them handling swords.
Hey, that's right there is going into all that new weaponry they got, tanks, planes, helicopters, and ultimately these newer, more powerful missiles.
Con.
You go ahead.
Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya, uh, Libya, Libya, with them and all of them shield and helmet. Go,
So the Persians, that's talking about the Iranians today. And
con,
we know that, like the brother said, the Iranians have backup from who? From Russia, and China, which is not mentioned here, but it's still a big player as well. Okay. But yeah, we keep going.
Gomer and all his bands, the house of Togarmah, Togarmah, and of the north quarters, and all his bands, and many people with thee.
Yeah, so all these nations, they're going to get together with Russia. Just like during the time of the USSR, they had their allies and they're going to have allies now. It's going to be like the scripture says, an assembly of nations, man. All right. So
Con,
yeah, we'll keep going from there.
con. Be thou prepared, and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them.
And be thou a guard unto them, right? So these nations that which we mentioned, Persia, the Iranians, is telling Russia to be a guard unto them. And that's what they're doing now. That's why they're giving Iranians intel and helping them with technologically with this war against America. And that's why America is spending millions of dollars and Iran ain't barely spending shit. And this war is fucking over America at the end of the day. But like the scripture says, man, Russia's gonna be that guard. Russia's that big bodyguard for all these other nations that are together as well that are against America. All right. And so with that, we're gonna go ahead and jump into uh Jeremiah. Actually, yeah. We'll go ahead, Jeremiah verse 50, and we'll start at verse 9.
Verse 9. All right, Jeremiah 50, verse 9 says, for lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country, and they
So
shall
right
set
there, that north country is Russia. You look on any map, the northernmost country is Russia.
okay,
Okay. And then, of course, Babylon is talking about America. So you're going to have this assembly of nations against America. Go ahead.
okay, and they shall set themselves in array against her. From thence she shall be taken, their arrows shall be as of mighty expert men. None shall return in vain in
All right.
Chaldea.
So none of those arrows are going to return in vain. What are the arrows? That's the thermonuclear missiles coming out of the silos or coming out of the submarines. It's going to have multiple ways to drop these missiles, airplanes. All right. But the point being, they're all going to point their nuclear arsenal over here, led by Russia.
Okay.
Go ahead.
None shall return in vain, and Chaldea shall be a spoil. All that spoil her shall be satisfied, saith the Lord Yahweh.
Come go ahead.
God. Because you were glad, because you rejoiced, O ye destroyers of mine heritage,
Yeah.
because you
The destroyers of my heritage. Who's the heritage of the Lord? The Israelites. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American Indians. I look at all the blood that was shed on this land, starting with the transatlantic slave trade. Also, you had the Spanish conquest, the stealing of this land from the Native American Indians. Brother had brought out the Trail of Tears, right? We were talking about that the other day.
God,
Black Wall Street. Every time our people try to do anything, even after they, enslaved us and beat us, we still second class citizens. We try to create a little something and they take it away.
God. And the worst part about it is Jake always tries to find a way to help them, especially during that exploration. They came and Jake was trying to take care of them, treat them of that smallpox, all those nasty diseases that they came with,
Mm-hmm.
and they still stabbed us right in the back.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Hey, never trust thine enemy, man, because they'll use you if they have an opportunity. But at the end of the day, it's they gonna stab you in the back. That's just how they are. You know,
uh,
they're not like Jake where we have integrity and stuff like that. It's like you're dealing with the devil at the end of the day. And that's why they
um,
gotta be destroyed this way, man. It's not like, oh, you guys are just full of hate. And it's like, well, the hate is justified, man. It's not like we just woke up one day like, I fucking hate Edomites, you know? We just lost our mind.
it's
Become
kind of
it, yeah, go into history, go into the scripture, and you're gonna see why we hate them, man. But yeah, go
kind
ahead.
of yeah. Even without the history, like man, you'll like before I was even in the truth, like you'll go to your job, man. Esau will smile right in front of your face. Next thing
Mm-hmm.
you know, they're the last one, or they're the only one pointing fingers at you, talking about you're doing wrong,
Yeah.
reporting you to the boss and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Man, but they were your best buddies.
Yeah. Yeah. That's that deceit. That's that deception. That
Con,
subtlety. You know,
yeah,
it's like a snake, like a worm. Like you just can't be trusted, man. You know, and
con,
that's how they built their whole society. You know, I just put up a video earlier about how they want to make homelessness illegal in Indiana. Okay, and they're gonna be rounding up homeless people, sending them to a prison camp. You know, they were building one in Utah as well. Okay,
con,
and it's like these people are the most unfortunate, and you're gonna put more hell on them. They're gonna charge you $500 if they catch you sleeping in a park. It's like, bro, if I'm sleeping in a park, I don't have $500 to begin with. So
con,
what
because
are you talking about?
yeah, even letting the slaves free and telling them like, yo, you're free. They were left with no rights. You
Hmm.
know, so you get caught in certain areas, you can get snatched up, and then
Right.
not just that. Even as far as like with the homelessness, they know most of the people who are homeless are Jake.
Hmm.
So they'll create things like, oh, no sleeping on the benches. Oh
Hmm.
yeah, you got to go to jail for being homeless.
Yeah. Like I did something wrong to you because, you know, and some Jakes are disabled, some Jake, but they're gonna put
Um,
us all in that category. Oh, you're a criminal, you see?
yeah,
And then they'll
con,
use those same arrests and put them on the statistics and be like, see, only black people, man. You,
con.
you know?
Yeah, it's because of that perpetual hatred that Esau has for us. You
God.
know, like they'll never let go. It's in their spirit. They don't know where it's coming from, but like it's a spiritual thing.
Hmm. Yeah, it goes all the way back to when Jake supplanted Esau, the blessing and the birthright. You
Come,
know? But it's like it's spiritual. The Lord, it was for Jake anyway. You know, just look at how Esau thinks. These people aren't fit to rule. I mean, they're showing you right now that that blessing shouldn't be given to them anyway. Because look what they're doing with their blessing of the sword, destroying the whole earth. You know, like the scripture says, let favor be shown unto the wicked, yet will he not learn righteousness. Here you are, you have all the power in the world and all you could think about is creating this NWO system to trap everyone in a digital prison with chips and you can't even let homeless people be homeless. It's like how much more sins need to be stacked on top of each other before this man goes down.
because ultimately they believe that Jake need to be servants to them. But as the Lord said, why do I see servants on horses?
Yeah.
They know what position we're in. They know what's going to happen at the end of the day. So
Mhm.
this is why this destruction has to come.
Yeah. And it has to come, man, because the Lord is a just power. The Lord believes in justice, man. You
Mhm.
know, it's like going back to the law, an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. You
Come.
know? But yeah, we'll get back into Jeremiah 50. I think we
Okay.
left off on 11.
Yeah, we did. And then, uh, yeah, we did. All right, going back into Jeremiah 50 and 11. Because ye were glad, because ye rejoiced, O ye destroyers of mine heritage, because ye are grown fat as the heifer at the grass, and bellow as bulls. Your
John, hey, and Salaki, I just want to go in real quick because yeah, look at all these riches they amassed.
Hmm.
from all the slavery. And then even after slavery, where they had us quote unquote go free, but we're still, second class citizens here. Look at all this wealth these elite bankers have. They were talking about the Rothschilds family is speculated that they're worth over 500 trillion. They own all this land, they own all your industries. These rappers are owned by these different banking families, so on and so forth. Okay, they have it all, man. They're not in trouble like other men, like Jake. Okay? So you made off of this off Jake and you still wicked. Hey, the Lord's gonna destroy you, man.
God.
That's
Mm.
it. That's the
Best part.
final straw, man.
God. It's a lot, kid. I ain't
No,
gonna.
you good. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, that just it reminds me because like man, when they get ready to fill their belly, man, all of a sudden destruction. Like
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, look, they got all this wealth, all this power. They're like, no, we need one more thing. Let's put a chip in everybody's brain so they have to think the way we think and put a chip in their hand. So if they don't do what we want, we could just turn off the chip. You know, they
God,
won't be satisfied ever, man. They need it all in a handbasket, man. They need it
God.
all. But you go ahead.
Okay, gotcha. Then it says, "Your mother shall be sore confounded; she that bare you shall be ashamed. Behold,
Hey,
the
that's
hinder."
going into England because England was the mother of America. America came from England. You had
God,
that empire, and then they broke off from over there and came over here and started this country, you know.
mhm,
And you can see that spirit now. A lot of these European countries look down on America and Americans as a whole. Like, damn, this place is a shithole, you know? It was once looked at as the best place to go. Oh, the American dream. You
man, con. But that American dream, man, that's never been a thing for real. And you got shitty, like bro, horrible food,
Mhm.
horrible air, metals in the body, plastics in the body. Bro, there's just so much going on. And it's like,
Everybody's all fucked up, man. And it's
God,
like at one point, it was a little bit better, but it was still never that good for Jake, man, because Jake was always struggling. Now it's to the point where, people are working two, three jobs just trying to make rent. It's like, what kind of society is this?
shoot, that base system, you know,
Yeah.
it's meant to get you in, get you out.
Yeah, just squeeze everybody dry like a wet rag, take
God,
all the energy out of you and toss you in the trash. But yeah, man, fuck this place. We don't feel bad that this
God,
place is gonna be destroyed, man, because it's like, what do you expect? It's like Sodom and Gomorrah. You can remember Sodom and Gomorrah, fucking all the wickedness they did, pushing all the Moism. That's another thing America does. Not only was it the slavery and all that, they trying to make everyone go Mo, putting women over men, you know, all this witchcraft on TV. I mean, the sins of America, I mean, you can't write enough books about how much wickedness goes on here.
God.
But we
Okay.
go ahead.
Yeah, got you. Uh, yeah, it says, shall she that bear you shall be ashamed. Yeah, back in verse 12, she that bear you shall be ashamed. Behold, the hindermost of the nations shall be a wilderness, a dry land, and a desert, because of the wrath of the
So like, go ahead.
God. Because of the wrath of the Lord Yahweh Shemel Shai, it shall not be inhabited, but it shall be wholly desolate. Everyone that goeth by Babylon shall be astonished and hiss at her plagues. Put
Yeah.
yourselves,
Yep. Yeah. It's a foreshadowing the destruction of that place. But yep.
God,
Go ahead.
put yourselves in array against Babylon round about, all ye that bend the bow. Shoot at her, spare no arrows, for she hath sinned against the Lord Yahweh Shemel Shai.
That's right, man. Yeah. All these nations that are in array again, or all these nations that are together, being led by Russia, hey, put yourselves in array against her. They all together. They all gonna come together against this place. America against the world, maybe back, way back when. But now, this place is finished, man. Like it said there, it's gonna be a wilderness, man. And verse 15 goes hard too.
Shoot against her It says, shoot against her round about. She hath given her hand, her foundations are fallen, her walls are thrown down, for it is the vengeance of the Lord Yahweh Shai. Take vengeance upon her as she had done unto her.
And she had done
And
unto her. Hey, they're gonna get they just do, man. There's a
con,
lot of blood in this land, and as the scripture says, that it cannot be cleansed but by the blood of him that shed it.
once again, just a reminder, going back into those atom bombs, big boy, little boy,
Mhm.
like this has to come back onto them, you
Has
know?
to come back unto them, man. That's
Con,
right. And the article goes into 200 missiles being shot, within 20 minutes out of one sub. But there's gonna be missiles everywhere, man. There's all type of silos, and we want to grab real quick to finish the lesson. We're gonna go into Revelation 9, where it talks about how many missiles are going to be shot over here, man, because you got to think America's a large landmass, okay? And, it's very hard to come up against this place because it's surrounded by water on both sides. You got Mexico down here, Canada up here. So it's going to take a lot to destroy this place. And we're going to see how much power, the Lord is going to send over here, or rather, how many missiles are going to be shot over here. So we're gonna go ahead and start in Revelation 9 and 14, Baba Gusha.
Revelations chapter 9, verse 14, it says, saying to the sixth angel which had the trumpet, loose the four angels which are bound in the great river Euphrates. And the four angels were loosed, which were prepared for an hour and a day and a month and a year to slay the third part of men.
To slay
And
the
then
third part of men. Who's the third part of men? You got three types of men on this earth. You got the sons of power, that's the Israelites. You got the sons of men, that's the regular heathens out here. And then the wickedest of them all, the Edomites, that's the sons of the wicked. That's the 1/3 of men that's going to be destroyed on that day. America and Israel getting destroyed by missiles. It's going to take out Esau's empire on the earth. Like the scripture says, Second Ezra 6 and 9, uh, Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follows, man. So this man is ultimately going to be destroyed. Okay, but go ahead.
fire. All right. And the number of the army of the horsemen were 200, 200,000. So like 200,000. And I heard the number of them. And thus I saw the horses in the vision, and them that sat on
Oh,
them
you're good
had
right there. That's pretty much all we wanted to go into, was verse 16 where it says, 200,000. So if you break that down, that's 200 million warheads that's gonna land here in America and flatten this place out. Okay.
come.
And if you read later in the chapter, the horsemen are breathing fire. So we know it's not talking about men, it's talking about missiles. Okay, and that's how many missiles is going to land here in America, man. So you best believe they got a bunch of firepower over there. And these submarines they had back then, they're going to come back, man. Whether it be a newer version that they're building or however they're going to do it. But just imagine with the tech they have now, it's going to be on a whole nother level. And like the article said, it terrified the West. Okay. And to this day, they're terrified because they know eventually shit's going to hit the fan and these Russians are going to step in and get serious against America when the Lord puts it on their spirit, which is going to happen after the MOTB is mandated for buying and selling, which that is also coming very, very soon. But that's all I got, Ak, unless you wanted to say something.
No, that's all.
With that, we want to finish by giving our glory, honor, and praises unto Yahweh, Bahashem,
Bahashem,
Yahweh
Yahweh
Shan,
Shai,
Bahashem,
Bahashem,
Rachakodash.
Rachakadash.
Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone that taught us this truth. Sincere shalom to the hopeful like this out there, listening, learning, and or teaching in truth and sincerity. Shalom wa, abad babal. Shalom.
Shalom.